Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Empire Season 4, Episode 2, and the name of this episode is Full Circle. This was a really good episode, y'all, and definitely a lot went down. But before I get started, let me send my love and condolences to everyone that was affected by the tragedy in Las Vegas, as well as Hurricane Irma, Hurricane Jose, as well as Hurricane Harvey. So if you can give relief and give support and, just be there for somebody in this, these hard times that we're living in, please do so, because we as a people need to come together, and we definitely need to be there for one another during these hard times. So just wanted to share that, direct from me to you. Now, on with this review. The episode opens up, Lucious, a.k.a. Dwight, is about to take a bath, and Claudia is helping him, but we can definitely tell Claudia's thirsty ass really wants to take it to another level, because we see how she's like working up his leg and she's moving all slow, and then Lucius stops her and says that I can do it by myself. So she says, okay, I won't be far if you need me. So he takes off his prosthetic leg and he actually begins to bathe in the water. Then he kind of goes underwater for a while, and he's just relaxing. Next thing you know, damn, somebody starts choking the shit out of him, and then immediately, he immediately thinks back to when he was younger and his mother was trying to drown him in the tub. And next thing you know, we see finally Claudia comes in, and it was actually Mama Walker trying to drown Lucius in the tub, and she just starts going off. It's like, we gotta get rid of the evil. Evilness is in him. We gotta get rid of the evil. I'm like, oh my God, this damn woman done started tripping. And then when the opening credits came in, we could still see that Cookie is still the emblem of Empire. So I thought that was cute. So then we get a scene. Claudia is I think in the study or something. The next thing you know, we hear Cookie. Cookie's like, okay, could you please move all my stuff to the West Wing? We see fur coats. We see all of her designer luggage come in, and she's like, Cookie, Claudia's like, Cookie, what are you doing? It's like 11 o'clock at night. She's like, yeah, and I'm moving in, because, I'm going to make sure that my man is good, and this is my house, so I'm moving in this bitch. So, and then he was like, and then she's like, but Cookie, I'm just doing my job. Let me assure you. She's like, oh, no. I know you're doing your job because I'm paying you to do your job. So I know you're doing your job. But you need to understand, that man in there is everything to me. And he's everything to his sons. Now, I need him. So, what I need you to do is, I need you to fix my man, or we're going to have problems. And then she started going back to the movie. She's like, hey, you drop that bag and I'm going to drop your ass. You hear me? I was like, man, Cookie just doing her thing, Cookie's Cookie. That's all I can say about that. So then we go to a studio session with Jamal. Jamal is working on this song. He's also in the studio with Warren is there, as well as Tori and Becky. And we come to find out that Tori and Jamal have finally made up. And then, if anything, we see that Becky and Jamal, have a conversation because, they're best friends. He's talking about this, they're talking about this new song or whatever that he's written, and, she pretty much says the song is great. I can see this song really, I can see you probably, damn winning a Grammy, you can win an Oscar, because this song can probably win best score for a movie or best original song. So they had that conversation, and plus right now, Becky is only, A&R on a short-term basis. So therefore, she's only sitting in that A&R position, but she doesn't have it she doesn't have it completely. And with Anika in jail, she's the only one there that can fill that slot. But we see that in that scene they definitely have that connection, and we see how close friends they are. But fasten your seatbelts because things are going to unravel a little bit. Okay, then we get a scene with Andre. He's talking to some business heads from Capital One. He's talking about selling off Empire Extreme because they're not rejuvenating a lot of income right now since Lucius since the explosion, Empire stock has somewhat went down, and they're not pumping out a lot of hits from some of the other artists they have. So, and Empire Extreme is kind of like suffering because a lot of stuff hasn't been coming out of Empire. So he's trying to make a deal to kind of like sell off Empire Extreme so they can kind of break even and kind of invest more into the company. Next thing you know, we see that this beautiful woman comes up, and I forgot her name. So if y'all remember her name, put her down in the comments. But I do know she starred in Chirac, and she also played Nikki Howard on the TV One original movie, and she did a phenomenal job. She's a great actress. But yeah, if you guys know her name, put it down in the comments. But she comes up to the bar, and she's like, she just kind of gives him that look, and he looks at her. She's beautiful and sexy and chocolatey, and they kind of looking back and forth, and she's like, "Are you alone?" And he's like, "Not anymore. So what you drinking?" And she says, "I'm drinking whatever you drinking." Next thing you know, they in the bathroom and they about to get it in. Andre's all excited, he all aggressive, about to slide it up in her, and trip this. He couldn't rise to the occasion. Because she's like, "Oh, I guess somebody doesn't want to participate." And she was real slick with it, too. Slick with that mouth. It's like, "Oh, somebody didn't want to participate." And then he lets her know that, "Look, I have a I don't know if he actually told her he was bipolar, but he says it's my medicine. He probably needs his meds calibrated." But he was saying that, my medicine, it's obviously affected my sex drive. Well, she turns and tells him, "Well, you need to tell your doctor that you just missed out on the best piece of ass you could have ever had." And I was like, "Oh, Miss Thing is just slick. Just completely slick." But she comes back later. So, hold on to that. But she was slick with that one. I was like, "Oh, Miss Thing don't skip a beat." And yeah, she was about to give it up in that bathroom. But obviously, the lieutenant soldier didn't participate. So, okay. Then we actually see Claudia and Lucius. She's doing like this thing with cards. Trying to get him to regain his memory, and some of the things that she's showing him reverts back to his upbringing in Philly. And then we see that Cookie finally comes in, and she pretty much, lets Lucius know that they're talking about selling Empire Extreme. And, we're trying to get everything geared up on that. And, Lucius is like, "Well, do what you think is best, because as of right now, I don't know what to do. My mind ain't even on Empire or anything." And then, like, Claudia's like, "Well, Cookie, we're in the middle of a session." She's like, "Okay, fine. Once you finish your damn session." And then, like, she was trying to, get back his memory, too, because she showed him a picture of them, when they were back in Philly, and he saw a gun in the picture. So I was just like, okay, so Cookie is still fighting this battle with Claudia over the state of mind of Lucius Lyons. So we definitely saw that going on. Then we get the case of Anika. Anika, as we know from the season finale, she's been framed for Tyreek's murder. So she's now standing trial. She's been in jail for 5 months. And pretty much, killing a federal agent is a big deal, even though he was an ex-federal agent around the time he died. So And we see that Hakeem is in the courtroom, and Anika is just freaking out. You know, her hair has grown and everything. She looked a little bit like Simone from Star with that hair, but it was all cute. So if anything, they're trying to debate her case, but they said that no, she killed a federal agent. So we pretty much, you know, we pretty much going to postpone this case until like about 6 months. So means she's going to have to wait 6 more months in jail. Oh, she immediately pulled out the waterworks. She started crying. She's like, I'm innocent. I haven't done anything. And, you know, court's adjourned. He hit the gavel. She runs and tells Hakeem, let Cookie know about January 7th, 2015. Let her know about that, Hakeem. So we actually see that she does, because next thing you know, we see Thirsty and Cookie are there to see Anika, you know. And then all of a sudden she saw Anika coming in. She's like, oh, child, jail is not for the weak. I'm like, Cookie! That was hilarious, because she immediately roasted her ass. So all of a sudden, you know, Anika sits down and she's like, I see you good with dates, Anika. You know, January 7th, 2015, the day that Bunky died. And then Anika's like, no, the day that Bunky was killed. Trust me, I know everything. So, if you don't want me to start singing like a canary, you need to get me the hell out of here. And she's like, look, bitch, we gave you $25 fucking million to go away, but what did you do? You still decided to hang around. You decided to run your mouth. And you've been doing a whole bunch of messy shit since the moment I met your ass. It's like you just don't want to stay away. You just want to continue to involve yourself in more shit. So pretty much Thurston finally was like, look, I don't need, you know, y'all taking your bras off right now. You know, love the scuffle, but no. But he lets Anika know, look, I'm about to get you a powerful U.S. attorney to represent you, but what you're going to do is that you're going to play nice, and you're going to do exactly what I say. Do we understand each other? So then we actually, you know, we get a second session with Jamal. He's finally you know, it's the same song that he was working on earlier, but now they're doing it for this music producer. The music producer says that, yeah, this will be a good theme song for a movie, and, you know, it's great, you know, but then he starts making the changes. He wants to bring in an orchestral feel to it. He wants to get rid of the falsetto. He wants to get rid of the piano, and he doesn't want any strings. So he immediately just starts, you know, chopping and dicing Jamal's song, and pretty much Becky intervenes, was like, yeah, we can do all that. We can do whatever you want, you know. And then Becky was like, so do you want to complete it by the night? And he says, hey, if you can get it by the night, even the better. The quicker the better. So he's like, yeah, we definitely see Oscars in your future, so this is a winner. And then all of a sudden we see that Jamal, being an artist, is like coming to Becky like, look, you know, why you didn't have my back? And she's like, look, at the end of the day, it's about what the client wants, and we do want this song, and you know, we definitely want this opportunity, so let's just make it happen. You know, Oscars, baby, Oscars. So at first he's kind of like, okay, but we can definitely tell Jamal is not happy with this, because Jamal does not like his music tampered with in any means. Alright, so then we get a scene with Claudia and Lucious. She takes him to this restaurant in Philly that he used to go to when he grew up. And we actually see that the waiter named Clem recognizes Lucious. You know, he starts talking about him and talking about, man, we got so much memories. We go way back. I remember he used to come up in here with Eddie, you know, Eddie Barker. You know, and he was like, who's that? He's like, you know, your boy Eddie, you know, the big producer, composer, you know. And he said that I remember when you guys came in here on Grammy night, y'all had Grammys, you know, from arm to arm, and y'all came in here with these two big, with these two big bad bitches. And then all of a sudden Claudia intervenes, excuse me, but we're actually trying to have a discussion here, so could you please take our order and we can just go from there. And I'm like, Claudia, you rude ass bitch. Like, this is a person who could probably help trigger his memory, and because you're not liking the fact that he's talking about how much of a player Lucious was, you immediately just shut the guy down. And you can definitely tell he was kind of hurt by that. And he's like, you know what, I'll take your order, and, you know, I got everything coming for y'all, so, you know, I'll be back. Because the guy was hurt. And I was even hurt. Like, you rude bitch. And then Lucious kind of called it out. She's like, you hurt that man's feelings. Why'd you talk to him like that? And she was like, look, I'm trying to control the conversation, and I'm not trying to overwhelm you. But she's saying, is that how people do things? You know, you guard the conversation. You guard somebody's life plan, that everything in life is scheduled. Is that how you feel? And she's like, well, no, but right now, I just don't want to overwhelm you with too much. And that's the reason why I stopped him. So pretty much what ends up happening, he tells her that he has to go to the bathroom. But he doesn't go directly to the bathroom. What he does is that he goes to Clem. And him and Clem start talking. He's like, so this Eddie Barker guy, where is he these days? Well, he's like, well, you know, he's like, do you have a number for him? He's like, yeah, but I can't get to him right now because he's at this country club. You should definitely go out there. You probably remember where it's at. He's like, oh, yeah, I can figure that out. So we see this fool ends up going out the back way and just leaves. So next thing you know, we see Claudia goes to the bathroom to look for Lucious, and then she goes back to Clint. Is the wife here? Is he still in the bathroom? And he's like, who? She's like, Lucious. Like, is he still in the bathroom? She's like, oh, that fool left a long time ago. And she's like, oh, what do you mean? He can't leave. He's not supposed to leave. And he was like, he's a grown man, lady. I was like, get her ass with a rude self. That's what our ass get. Mean bitch. Alright. So then we see that Becky goes into Hakeem's session. You know, she's saying that he needs another pop hit like Drip Drop. You know, you definitely, need to get back that sound but he's saying that, look, I'm an artist. I want to do what I want to do. But she says that, look, and he said that, look, when Anika was A&R, she just let me do what I wanted to do, and she never interfered with my vision. Becky lets him know that, look, you need a pop hit, and when you bring in those pop hits, then you can control the narrative and can do what you want. But the thing is, we need another hit, and I think you got that in you. I think you got another Drip Drop, even something greater than that. But that's what we need in order to move you forward. So all of a sudden she's like, okay, Becky, I got you. So they hug it out. She leaves. But we see that Hakeem has other plans. He's like, look, I'll give her that. But right now I got this beat in my head and I got to get it out. So let me put this down, one for me before I make one for them. So I'm like, okay, Hakeem, I see you. So he's like, look, I'm going to do me, and I'll give them what they want, but I'm not going to stop doing what I want to do. So we're starting to see that artistry come out of Hakeem. So we actually see that Lucious walked out the restaurant and called a cab, and he went all the way up to see Eddie. Eddie, I think, is at like his nephew's wedding or whatever. And then also the funny thing about it, he's in the cab. The cab driver is a big fan of Lucious. He's even quoting all of his songs. He's he's talking about something like, he said pretty much I live my life around your music. And when it comes to me and a woman, I pretty much put down the Lucious triple takedown. You know, he started saying like, you know, he starts talking about, you know, the 3 steps, and then he says you end the night with hot little thing. Hot little thing will surely make sure that you're going to get the woman, and you're going to definitely get her in more ways than one. So he had that moment. So then we actually see that he finally sees Eddie. Eddie is pretty much presiding at his nephew's wedding. And he's talking about love and lasting love. He sees Lucious. And, you know, he definitely embraces him. And, you know, obviously him and Eddie still to this day have a great relationship. You know, this was, you know, somebody that he knew way before he became Lucious Lyon. So then we actually see that Lucious and Eddie sit down with all these other men, you know, because his brother was also Eddie's brother was also there. So they're sitting down talking, and you know, he pretty much says that, you know, I was the first person that put Lucious out there, you know, as far as on radio. I worked for this radio company or whatever, and I was trying to get him on there, but I tried to get him through the but he needed to talk to the main engineer. Now the main engineer kept giving him the runaround or whatever, but I let him know he had to clear it with him before I could put him on. So when old boy kept avoiding him or whatever, eventually Lucious had a plan. One day old boy came up, he said he had a high top and everything. Lucious beat the dude's ass. And when he's describing the story how he beat this dude down, and that's how he got on air for the first time, Lucious just had an episode and he freaked out. And of course, you know, Eddie was there to kind of calm him down. But Eddie is kind of noticing something ain't right, because he's starting to see that his memory ain't all the way there. So then we get a scene. Claudia comes and tells Cookie that she lost Lucious. And she's like, you lost Lucious? Really, bitch? You know what? And then, like, she's just going off. And then, like, she's calling Portia in. And Portia's like, well, Miss Thing over here lost Lucious, so now we got to figure something out. And she's like, you don't want to call cops? Oh, hell no. I'm not involved in the police in this shit. And then she's like, Portia, get out. And she's like, what the hell happened, Claudia? Because obviously something triggered him that made him run away. What the fuck did you do? So she's like, yeah, I took him to Philly to Clem's joint, you know, and then, you know, he mentioned somebody about Eddie Barker. She's like, oh, Eddie Barker. And then, like, she's like, Portia. She's like, give me Eddie Barker's number. She's like, okay, you sure? She's like, yeah, that's what I want, but never mind. I got it. Seems like I'm doing everybody's job today. So she was like, you know, it's a good thing, because Eddie Barker's family, and Eddie gonna get him back. I don't know what the hell we need your ass for. So right now Claudia feels defeated, as she should, because she let Lucious literally slip through her fingers. And it makes me question, how bad is Lucious's amnesia? Because something is telling me that he may be playing a game, because we know how much of a shrewd and treacherous individual Lucious can be. So keep that in mind. So we definitely see, so now we get another scene with Jamal. Jamal's in the session, you know, we see that there's an orchestra there and all that, but it's a totally different song. He scraped the old song and created and did something totally different, totally unbeknownst to Becky, and we're starting to see that Warren kind of gave Becky this dirty look. So I'm like, Warren is already starting to plant his seeds of bullshit, because he's the one that pretty much planted in Jamal's head that you should just change the song and do what the hell you want to do. So all of a sudden, you know, the song sounds nice, but they had already signed contracts with the guy, and the song that they originally had, he just wanted it, you know, He just wanted, some finishing touches on it, and then they wanted that song back. But Jamal completely scraped it and completed a totally different song. And he's like, yeah, but it's a better song. It's different. It's nice. It's cool. So we see that Becky and Jamal kind of get into it, and then damn Warren comes in like, come on, Becky, it's the best thing out there, man. That song is nice. I don't understand why you don't like it. And she was like, you know what? I'm going to need you to shut the hell up, Warren, because this is our business right here, and you need to fall back. And then all of a sudden, Jamal gets defensive like, no, boo-boo. You are just a temporary A&R. You do not have no real authority to be calling those shots, so you need to chill, because at the end of the day, this song is what it is. I'm going to do what I want to do, and this is what we're going with. You tripping. And I'm like, oh, damn. Warren done probably put it on you already. You already turning on Becky and shit. Tell you, man, the power of the black pen will make you do shit you never said you would do. Just saying. So then we actually see that Eddie is with Lucious. He's singing "If Loving You Is Wrong," and he's kind of like playing the music and everything, trying to calm him down. And then we finally see that Cookie joins them or whatever, and then Claudia comes in and lets Lucious know that his dinner's ready outside by the pool. So Cookie and Eddie start talking, and he lets Cookie know he doesn't remember me. He can barely remember anything. It's like half of his life thinks that he should know, but he doesn't remember. And Cookie lets him know that, look, Lucious suffered a traumatic brain injury, and she's saying that, and he sees that Cookie is feeling that too, because she no longer has Lucious the way she used to. But she said that, look, I don't want this out in the press or nothing, so please keep this between us. And he's like, look, I got y'all. If y'all kind of strapped right now, things are kind of not working out. He's like, look, I got you. This is what families do. When somebody in the family's sick or is reached a bind or can't pay their rent, we're supposed to step up. We're supposed to help. And, if anything, you should definitely, and he says that, look, I'm here to support you. And she's like, well, how? Like, support the music. The music is what got you through this. The music is what's going to continue to pull you out of bad times, and it's going to help change everything. So, don't just, whatever you need, I got you. So Cookie has now found an ally in Eddie as far as getting Empire back on top like it was before. So then we actually see Becky and Tori. They actually pretty much what they did was they pretty much took Jamal's song, but took Jamal's vocals off it completely and put Tori's on it. And they were actually with an executive, and he loved it. He was like gung-ho about it. And then finally we see Warren and Jamal show up, and Jamal is pissed the fuck off. And then all of a sudden we see that, Jamal and Becky get into it again, and she's like, look, I hate to have to do this, but look, I'm just doing my job. I'm just doing what I'm supposed to do. And he pretty much says that, you know what? Try some shit like that with me again, and you ain't gonna have no job in my company. And I'll make sure of that. Yeah, hold on to that shit. And I was like, oh, dang. Jamal gonna completely let this nigga completely flip him. And it's just crazy because he's mad because he changed the song, but she thought that the song would sound better more with Tori than with him, so she switched it, and the executive liked it, and now his ass mad. I'm like, you already letting that nigga get into your head already. The shit is already starting to hit the fan. So pretty much, so what ends up happening is that we get a scene back at the house, Cookie goes into her room and she sees Mama Walker going through her shit, the same thing she was doing with Anika. And she's like, look, you need to take your ass back onto the other side of the house. You ain't even supposed to be over here. And she's like, we got to get that evil woman, we got to get that evil witch away from the white. And she's like, lady, what you talking about? She was like, we got to pull the evil out of here if it's the last thing we do. There's too many messy people around and we got to get rid of them. She's saying that, hey, I've done it before, because if you really want to know, with that woman in there, I'll get rid of her just like I got rid of that bastard Tariq. And she's like, what? She's like, yeah, I killed that bastard. He was in the way, and I had to make sure to annihilate his ass. I got rid of him, and then I framed that bitch Anika, for the crime. So, with that being said, good night, Cookie. I'm like, oh, Mama Walker, you have done entirely too much. And Cookie is just like, okay, this old bitch gotta go. Next thing you know, we see that they bring her in the room, in the office. They got, doctors and everything there. They about to put her in the facility, getting her the hell up out of there. Lucious actually signs off on it because Lucious is shaking because he remembers she tried to drown him, the night before. So he signs off on it. She's like, look, it's the best thing for you. Next thing you know, we see that she lunges at Claudia, and they literally pull her out. Then she just gets herself together and walks out. I'm like, Mama Walker is a piece of work. But yeah, she had to get up out of there because she was doing entirely too much. Man, as crazy as her ass is, and the fact that she can just snap at any moment, yeah. They needed to get her ass some serious medical attention because as long as she was in that house, she was a danger to everybody. So then we actually see that Thirsty goes to the jail with the attorney, and they're talking about the case and everything like that. And we also saw earlier, I'm going to get to that. Well, they pretty much work out the case with Anika, whatever, and they also had a voice recording of her and Tyreek, and Tyreek supposedly forced himself onto her. And she's like, Tyreek, no! And I'm like, so she's saying that he raped her, and in turn of that, well, we know he really didn't rape her. But then she's saying that they just altered the voice recording to make it seem as if her life was in danger, and that's why she killed him. And then she kind of breaks down and everything. So they played the scenario up to with the DA, and that actually helps her to get off. But little does she know, she's gonna come home and things are not gonna be the same. So then we also get a scene later on with Andre, and this is before this press engagement, where they're supposed to be talking about selling off Empire Extreme. So, but before it happens, he gets greeted by some detectives, and one of the detectives her name is Pamela, and it's the same girl that he was about to get it on with at the bathroom, but couldn't rise up to the occasion. So all of a sudden he sees her there. She's a part of the investigation team that's trying to look into, the whereabouts of Juliana and about what happened at Vegas with the bombing. So they're pretty much going back and forth or whatever, and then all of a sudden he's like, so you mean to tell me you've been a detective? Were you coming on to me the other night? Was that a part of your job? She's like, no, I just found out about it this morning that I was assigned to this case. And she said, so then he starts saying, so tell me, what kind of detective just randomly screws a man that she first meets in a bathroom? She politely let him know, we didn't screw. You couldn't get it up, remember? I was like, I like her ass because she is really slick with her mouth, and Andre just kind of looked pathetic. I'm like, see, here it is, you trying to be that dude, but she knows something of that when it came down to it, you didn't rise up to handle the business. So she definitely got that going on. So we definitely see the press meetings going on. Cookie is supposed to have been, being a spokesperson for Empire. She's supposed to have been announcing, the plan to sell Empire Extreme. But that's not what she does. She comes up with a new idea called the Lucious Project. In celebration of 20 years, we're going to do 20 for 20. 20 albums going to be released. And we actually see that Andre is pissed off. He is heated. And then, next thing you know, we see that Cookie and Andre have a conversation. He was saying that, I can't believe you decided to pull some crazy-ass plan like this, Mom. What the hell were you thinking? She's saying that, first of all, music is Empire's legacy. So we need to focus on music and not just selling off our assets and just chopping everything up. We need to, and he's saying that, look, we don't have the money to do this. And she's like, and she's like, look, we're going to find a way. She's like, no, you mean you're going to use me? Because that's what everybody does. Jamal doesn't do it. Hakeem's not doing it, not even Dad or you. I'm the one that's getting the money, getting the sponsorships, and getting people to invest in what we're doing. So, and he was like yelling at her, like, it's always me. And she's like, you know what? I'm going to need you to calm down, because one thing I definitely know about your father, he didn't take no insubordinates, and I'm not going to take the shit either. And he's like, oh, really, insubordinates? She got that back. She's like, tomorrow, Andre. And, I'm not here for your bullshit. So you need to come back tomorrow, and you need to get yourself together when you do, and you need to come at me correct. And sent his ass up on out of it. I'm like, all right, Cookie, boss queen. And she did kind of look like a queen sitting at that desk, too. So she was doing her thing. And then we see that Jamal is kind of broken after what happened, with between him and Becky. And Warren's there, and then he's saying that, I just feel alone sometimes. Like, I feel like nobody believes in me. And he's like, I believe in you. So that song, You, they start working on it, and Warren starts, saying that I believe in you and I believe in your music. So now he's working with him on his music and everything, and I'm like, the seed has already been planted already. He's now gotten in between him and Becky's relationship. But little do you know, before the press conference, about Empire Extreme, Cookie actually talked to Becky. And she pretty much asked her, like, so what's going on with Hakeem and Jamal? She says, well, Hakeem's stuff is going good, but Jamal not so much. Jamal had this song. The producer wanted him to make some changes, but what he did is that he just created a totally different song. And what I ended up doing was that I ended up taking his voice off and putting Toy's on it. And Cookie just politely told her, do not let your judgments cloud your ambition. But at the end of the day, I'm pleased. You have proven yourself, and I'm now going to hire you full time as A&R, and you're going to get a 30% raise. So she's like, Cookie, I won't let you down. She's like, I know you won't. So now Becky is now A&R. So now Jamal got to eat that shit, because Cookie just made her A&R, so now you gotta listen to her ass. So we're gonna see how that's gonna play out. And then we see finally Anika gets released from jail, and she comes knock on Hakeem's door thinking everything's gonna be peachy keen, but then when she looks in there, she sees Tiana holding Bella, and Bella has already become attached to Tiana. So we already see Anika was mad as hell. So then we see that there's a thunderstorm. It wakes up Lucious. Lucious goes into Claudia's room. She sees that Claudia is about to leave. He pretty much cries and begs and pleads for her not to leave. And then eventually she kind of cuddles him in her arms. She's like, it's okay, Dwight. I'm not going to leave. I'm going to stay here with you. And I'm like, you evil bitch. Because she already has power over his emotions. And she knows she holds that power card, and she played it. And he's like, are you leaving because I left earlier? Is that the reason why she's doing this? She's like, no, I can't do my job if I don't have complete trust. No, you mean complete idiocy to your bullshit. But that's what I have, y'all. If I missed anything, put it down in the comments. But yeah, this was a good episode. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, I have a GoFundMe page. Check it out. It will be in the description box. So check out that link. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video. And I'll be back with the next episode of Empire. So until then, everybody, take care.